Greetings, everybody. Let's see if we can add Mr. Gonzalez here. If I can figure out how to do it. I forget every single time. Hope everyone is doing well. This evening, we've got some folks here already. Thank you for joining. Let's see if we can figure out how, once again, to add David here. Let's see. There we go. We're at
David, so standing by. Hey, 326, the Razor Company. Hey, Shaving with Raza. There we go. There we go.
What's going on? What's going on?
How are we doing this evening?
Oh, dude, I'm fucking hurting. I am hurting. Whew.
Do we have a beverage of the evening today?
Well, I got something to hydrate myself with, dude, because, yeah, dude, I was extremely dehydrated this morning. It's been rough. It's been rough.
Well, the beverage for me today is Talisker 10, the Elixir of the Gods, Scotch whiskey.
Oh, I can't handle that today. I can't. God bless you. I support your decision, but good Lord. Dude, I was trying to buy that Norling glass you just used, and they're fucking backstopped, dude. I cannot fucking get one. Yeah, I cannot get any. I've been trying for like a month.
Well, let's kick it off and get it started. Right out of the gate with probably the most controversial topic, and that is limited releases. That is to say, releases that are in small quantity that not everyone can get, and there's a lot of folks from the outside looking in. So I'll let you start, and then I'll give my take.
So there's two ways that I look at these small releases. I understand and I am sympathetic for people that are just hobbyist soap makers. So if they could only make a few pieces at a time, I get it. What I don't like is if they're doing this, they're doing a certain scent, a certain collaboration, a certain soap for one run. For me, the community is about doing for each other. Really, we're family. We always talk about calling each other brother and loving each other and all this love fest that we fucking constantly see. But then we're cool with something that leaves a lot of our brethren out. And I'm totally fine. Again, I'm totally fine. Literally, if they could only come out with 10 soaps a week, I'm fine with that. But continue to make that stuff so everybody has an opportunity to get it. You know, I was just talking to Mel last night, Mel and Nate, and Mel's a nurse.
Right.
Mel is one of the most kind and generous fucking people I've ever known.
100%.
Ever, period. And we asked, oh, did you get a chance to order? He's like, nah, I couldn't even get on the computer. That bums me out, dude. Right. That bums me out that he don't even get the opportunity. And if there's anybody in the fucking West Shape community that deserves to get some shit like that, it's Mel. He fucking deserves it. So I can't support a business model that will leave somebody like him out.
Well, first of all, let's stipulate that the businesses have the right to do it any way they see fit. You would agree with that, right?
Absolutely. But with that being said, I also have the right to not support that.
Right. So my feeling on it is I'm not a big fan of it. And the reason why is there's so many people that just can't participate. And there's always financial issues that keep people from participating with high-end razors and gear that's just beyond their reach to get. But software is within reach for almost everybody. So the limited releases really creates haves and have-nots, and people who are very frustrated. They're either working or they just have technical problems at the time. The website, they can't get in, they can't get it. And then a lot of folks are just bummed out and they're upset. And we've heard a lot of people this week being very upset about a couple of these releases. And so my feeling is with this one, which is the Southern Witchcraft APR, they're making more. So this will be available again, I believe, on the 5th of July. I think I just saw it on their website. So I like that sort of thing where they're making more. I don't know how many more they're going to make, but I like the fact that more people are going to get a chance to use it. Some of the other releases, whereas it's one and done, you'll never get it. And then what happens is people flip those soaps for exorbitant prices on the secondhand market because they're never going to make any more. I'm not as big a fan of that. Now, I don't blame anybody who flips those soaps. Would I do it myself and charge more than I pay? No, because I just don't like to do things that way. But the idea of making soaps and having some people get it, and it's just either you're lucky or you happen to have the time to do it, and then everybody else is shut out. I don't like it. What I would suggest is, if you don't like this style of doing business, go and support Sneaky Pete or Douglas Smythe or Katie's Bubbles or whomever who makes soaps all the time, and sure, there are plenty of stock. So we saw Kaizen. It sold out quickly in those first runs, but he will continue to make it and satisfy his customers. That's more appealing to me. However, I did pick this one up because I absolutely love the scent. It's a phenomenal scent. It's one of my favorite scents that I've experienced for quite some time. But if not everybody gets a chance to buy this, it's not as satisfying for me, because I want everybody to be able to enjoy it. And if they're only making a few hundred, I don't even know how many they're making, and there's a lot of people who want this and they can't get it, that puts me in a position that I don't really like to be in. Whereas I just have something because I'm either lucky or I got through and they didn't. And I don't really like feeling that way, to be honest with you.
I legitimately do feel guilty, which is, as a reviewer or whatever you want to classify me and my style of videos as, I've pretty much made a standard rule for myself over the last few years. I don't go after these limited edition soaps or these unobtainium stuff. And I've had opportunities. I've had people offer me absolutely free Mammoth soaps. Not the actual owners of them, but what up, Junior? But I've had people offer it to me. I don't want to use them in videos because people can't get a hold of a lot of this stuff. And I don't feel right about it. It sucks. We talk a lot about being inclusive. We encourage everybody to we encourage everybody to do YouTube videos. We try to be encouraging to new YouTubers. We try to welcome everybody in. And it just goes against a lot of the work that we do, man. Because again, when me and you came into doing YouTube videos, you were before me, but still, I'm still part of probably your generation, I would say, of people that came in. Nobody showed us no love. Nobody helped spread the word of us.
Right.
I love that feeling of everybody just being a part of something big. And
I agree.
This business model or this way of doing it, it doesn't make sense to me. I can't justify it. I can't justify supporting it. Again, I never begrudge anybody that does get it and does do it, because I'm not a fucking bitch like that. That's some fucking punk shit that people hate. If you hate on other people, you're just a fucking punk. You're just a sad fucking excuse for a human. But again, I myself, my own standards, I can't do it. I just can't.
Right. Yeah, I think one of the things is this is something where we do encourage everybody to participate. You don't have to have a particular skill. You just have to know how to shave. And when people are excluded simply because they can't get it, that's not really appealing to me, although I do respect the business's right to do so. They can do it all day and every day, and then we can speak ultimately with our dollar. So personally, what I will try to do is just spend money with the businesses that I'm in agreement with in terms of the way they do business. So I just mentioned Pete as an example, but there are many businesses who will just continue to produce soap as long as there's demand for it. And that's what I would like to see. I would like to see some of these companies just basically meet the demand. And I realize we put them in a tough spot because they don't know what the demand is going to be, but maybe pre-order. Maybe we do things to get an idea of what the demand is going to be, so we don't have so many people on the outside looking in, because we are in the community. Mostly we like to support each other. We like for everybody to get an opportunity. So that's the way I feel about it. Yeah.
And I seen somebody put in the comments right now that some people don't have the infrastructure to produce a lot of soaps.
True.
We established that. You probably showed up a little late, but that's fine. Again, literally, if you could only release 10 fucking soaps a week, cool. I get it.
Keep playing.
I understand it. But keep going along, man. That's why you're a huge fan of Razor Rock products. Their soaps and everything. His stainless steel razors, because they're so affordable, they always sell out. They always sell out. But one thing that Joe always does, and that I appreciate, he said, we will continue to make them as long as there's a demand.
Yeah.
Even if it takes 5 years for everybody to get the shit, he still does it. And again, I know he's big money, whatever the hell, but again, he still releases smaller batches at a time because machine shops take forever.
There is one thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Same thing with like the carved razors, carbon. All of them run out, but they continue to produce at whatever speed they can, and and I'm cool with it. Take your time. If you need the time to produce shit, it is what it is. But they do keep going with it.
I want to mention Lancaster because I just saw Andre, and he was talking about a lot of the small businesses don't have the capital to plunk down to create huge volumes of this. But one of the things that he's doing is he's continuing to make them in batches. So as long as there's demand, as long as he can get the materials, he's going to make it. And so I think that's a good model. I know that people aren't happy that they can't get it right away, but I like the idea that you can get it. So you might not have one of these today, but maybe next week or a month from now, maybe you're able to get one. And I like the idea of everybody having an opportunity. That's just my feeling.
And I've never said a bad word towards Lancaster because I know they're doing that. They're continuing to give people opportunities to get it. I don't have one. Do I want one? Fuck yeah, I want one of those damn Lancaster towels. But he's continuing to make them, so I'm good. I'm good being patient with, hey, when I get one, I'll get one. It'll happen.
Well, make sure, look below at some of the folks we got here. Drop is coming, Lancaster said, so that's outstanding. Hello, Rich. Hello, DK. I've seen the Chief. I'm sorry we haven't acknowledged a lot of you yet, so we certainly want to make sure we're including. I saw Rico. I saw 326. A lot of folks. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit today was, because I know we have some content creators here, there's been a lot of folks getting bummed out with sub counts and worrying about, new people passing them on. And for me, my feeling is you can be sort of in one of two camps or one of three camps. You can either be a grinder, that is me, that is just absolute brute force, and you grind and grind and grind and grind and grind. You could be someone who has a really magnetic personality, who really just appeals to people. Like, I think the Chief is a good example of that. He's got a lot of good energy, and people are, his channel's growing very, very quickly. Or you can be somebody who presents a tremendous amount of value in what they do by giving a lot of information. But I don't think anybody necessarily, I don't think it's easy for anybody. What are your thoughts?
I think people see somebody like what's going on with Chief, and they think it's coming easy to him. And his numbers are coming in rapidly, but they forget to look at the big picture. He produces a video almost every fucking day.
Right.
He's active on not only YouTube, but he's also active on Instagram. Very active. He's doing the lives and stuff. That's work. All that stuff takes a lot of time and investment. It's an investment in yourself. So
1 second. Robin is here because I saw the Chief busting his shop. So Robin, and that is Jack from the Virtual Groom Room, is here. I just wanted to acknowledge that. Go ahead.
No, and that's pretty much it. Everybody's just very they got the blinders on, and they don't want to look at everything that goes on. Somebody like myself, I've been doing it for 5 years. I just recently broke the 2,000 subscribers. That's a long time. 5 years is a very long time to be doing it. But I got a pretty loyal following early. People that kind of stuck around with me. And my YouTube channel was never for, oh, let me get famous. I'm not going to get fucking rich off of doing shave videos. It was just giving me a place to kind of decompress, connect with people a little bit differently, and just have some fucking fun, because I've always been a fan of like public speaking. I always loved it in school when I had to do reports in front of class. That's always something I've liked to do. So, well, I don't have a fucking job where I do public speaking. So this is something that I was able to talk to people do.
What would you say to the people who say, I'm putting forth a ton of work, but yet I'm not getting the result that someone else is getting?
There's a lot of TV shows that get canceled after one season, man. It's not meant for everybody. I wish everybody had success, but not everything's entertaining, dude. There's a lot of fucking movies and TV shows and a lot of different entertainment shit that just doesn't hit. Some people, it's just not meant for everybody, man. It's unfortunate.
What I would say is it's really important for each person to establish relationships and help each other. That's the easiest way, I think, to establish a rapport, and then you support each other, and then you see where it goes, because you never know what's going to happen. You might blow up, and have a very large channel, or you might grind and grind and grind and still have a medium channel. There's no guarantees in anything. And it's that way in life. There's just, another thing that I keep hearing from people is about clicks. And I don't think they understand that people establish relationships within communities. And it's not that you're trying to exclude people. It's that you gravitate to people who are either doing things that are remarkable, or you have things in common with. Maybe it's similar age, maybe you live in the same geographic area, maybe you like the same sort of products. And so I don't think that there are people just trying to avoid other creators and not supporting them. I just think they naturally have things in common and they gravitate. What do you think?
I don't care if they call it clicks or not. You click with certain people. You you just do. You vibe with people. We got the super friends in the audience over here, except for I think they're missing Superman. But the super friends are here. I don't know.
Probably
but they just happen to click. They just happen to feel each other in that way. It sounds a little weird, I know. Whatever.
Edit that out.
But again, so me and you, we're very different people. But there's something on an intellectual level that clicks with us, and we have a lot of conversations. It's some pretty fucking fruitful ones, I should say. Yeah. And you can't control who you get along with a little differently than others. There's even people in your family you like more than others. A lot of people will lie about that, but most of us fucking have a favorite child. Like a lot of people don't want to fucking admit it, but you got a favorite kid, you got your favorite aunt, you got your favorite grandparent. It just is what it is.
Let me ask you a more, or I put another topic on the table. Types of tallow. So we're going to get into shade geekery now. Types of tallow. He says that Jack says he feels Batman. If I would have photoshopped Jack as Batman, no one would know who it was, so that wouldn't work. But he does have all the gadgets like Batman. Like I can see that, but it wouldn't have worked in that Photoshop, so it had to be Robin. I apologize. Anyway, back to tallow, because I see a lot of people talking about the different mutton tallow, beef tallow, bison tallow versus bear tallow. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I do not notice any difference whatsoever in the versions of tallow, like in terms of performance. What I do notice is when they include certain ingredients like maybe goat's milk, jojoba, shea butter, mango butter. I'll notice it. But the types of tallow, to me, is completely irrelevant. But people will die on that hill of claiming the bear tallow is the best, the bison tallow is the best. I mean, I don't see it.
No, well, actually, I haven't tried any of the exotic tallows. I really don't have a desire to. I don't care. Again, eventually, you start wanting to try just soap companies I'm not familiar with. So I'll probably eventually stumble into some of those. But I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about buffalo tallow and mutton tallow. There's 3 ingredients that I look for in a soap, whether it's a newer soap, older soap, new company, older established company. I like to see goat's milk. I like to see coconut butter, and I like to see mango butter.
How much do you think is preconceived notions about you see a special ingredient and you automatically think, I would love to see people doing blind testing, whereas they just simply don't know. And I think we would be singing a different tune.
The only way most people won't be able to tell the difference. That's how the artisans are really getting this. They're putting probably very minuscule amounts of a certain ingredient that looks fucking fancy. They're charging $26 or $25, and it probably did that fucking little bit of whatever the fuck probably didn't make that much of a difference. I like to see the ingredients that I enjoy towards the front end of that ingredient list. Right. Anything in the back half, it's probably not worth much of shit anyway. Not a whole lot.
Aquaman says, "Who reads?" So he's not busy reading those labels. So some people agree. Aquaman, the chief there, said he really liked the bear tallow. I tried the non-Tahala. I didn't think it was different from anything else. For me, I think a lot of it is preconceived notions. You automatically think something is good, and it will be good because you think it is. And if we didn't know and we had the opportunity to test them blind, I think we would probably come up and we would be very shocked when we had brands, if we couldn't see it, so we couldn't see the texture and we couldn't point out, oh, that looks like PAA or oh, that looks like Declaration. If we just used them blind, I think some of us might be really surprised at what we found.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. There's maybe about three soap companies, and again, I'm not going to say who in particular, but there's probably about three companies to where their lather feels noticeably different than everybody else's. About three companies. Just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. But aside from those three companies, and I've used a lot of different shit, everything else kind of more blends into each other.
Right. I don't know. It's one of those things where I do think certain ingredients, it could be in my head. So I always say this could completely be in my head. But I think when I see goat's milk, when I see shea butter, when I see jojoba, I tend to think that I get a creamier lather. But I can't really validate it because I can get a creamy lather if I work at it with almost anything. I mean, that's just true. So I can take a very basic soap and make a creamy lather out of it if you put enough water in it. Like you can.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I'm just not sure that, and the other thing is, and even artisans have said this, we have no idea of knowing how much of those ingredients is going into soap. It could be a drop. We don't know. It could be nothing. I'm not doubting the integrity of soap makers. So I don't want people to think that, but we really don't know ultimately. And so when you see an ingredient that's 6th or 7th in the list, and it's one of those ingredients you're looking for, is there that much in it to make a difference? I don't really know. But I suspect in some cases we'd be surprised if we just tried things blind.
Oh, I agree with that. I do.
So what would be, we're going to just move on to a different subject here. What would be your pick? If you were going to pick something that's been your favorite for the last week, or 2 weeks actually, because this is an every other week thing. What's been your favorite thing the last couple of weeks?
Well, the thing that brought me the most joy and excitement these last couple of weeks has been this little beater razor right here. This little, nothing special, Boker, celebrated extra hollow ground razor. This is the fucking first razor that I got a pretty damn good edge on, man. It's damn near exactly where I would want it. I need to adjust a couple things to get a little bit smoother, dude. But using this razor this past week and a half or so, a couple times, it's brought me a lot of excitement, dude. It's just that my whole energy after using this razor has just been noticeably different, dude, because I'm so happy with the edge, especially where I'm at in a short amount of time. Right.
And that brings us to sort of another subject. Before I get into that, this is obviously my pick. I love the scent of this soap. This Southern Witchcraft it just smells great to me. I know Robin, he wasn't crazy about, I mean, he liked it, but he didn't love it. But for me, it's like it was made for me. It's just such a wonderful scent. The only thing I don't like about this is maybe some people don't get it, and that I don't care for. But in terms of the label, I love it. It's very cool. In terms of the scent, I love it. It's a good performer too. This is a vegan soap, but it is a very good performer, and it's one of those things I was happy to buy because I just absolutely loved it. I sent the one I had to the Stallion, and I really love this. It's my favorite thing in the past couple of weeks.
I have a question in regards to these collaboration soaps.
Mm-hmm.
You talked to them and you said that they were going to make more releases of it, but they had to wait for Australian private reserve.
Right.
Why are soap companies pretty much leasing fragrance recipes as opposed to buying them? When I was doing my shirts, I would pay the designer to design them. I pay them. After that point, the design was mine. I could do whatever the fuck I want with it. Why aren't soap companies? And maybe if there's some of the soap companies in the chat, if they can answer, why are they not buying the recipe to these scents that they're putting in their soaps so that they can control the production?
I absolutely don't know. I know some folks have done that in the past. I don't know what the current model is or how that works. I'm assuming, maybe it's just an agreement, and maybe the one who's developing the fragrance doesn't always want to sell it outright. Maybe they're reserving the right to use it themselves. I really don't know. And Watson there says money, and that's probably what it is.
Yeah, it's just.
Heather says development fee could be up to $1,500, and it's very expensive. So
okay, cool. That answers my question, and at least now I know.
So small business plunking down that sort of money and considering that they've also got to buy all the ingredients, They got to buy all the containers and they got to make a big run. It's not always easy to come up with that sort of capital. If you've been established for a while, you can take a risk, I imagine. But if you're newer or smaller, it's, I think when we think about razors, for example, and we think about somebody like even Italian barber, and the reason he makes small batches is, let's just say the cost is $40 or $50. It's not, but let's just say it is. If you're going to make 100 razors, that adds up pretty quickly. So you can't make these huge batches. And, but one thing about him, as you mentioned before, he's going to continue to make them as long as they're demanded. And so I like that. What was Heather saying? By the way, if you have questions, submit them. Let me look and see if we have any questions yet. No, none yet, but please feel free to ask some if you have some. That brings up something else I wanted to touch on. In the past, folks, including myself, have considered the reputation of the vendor, things they've done in the past, in terms of deciding whether I'm going to use them on a channel. Now, when I came back in January, I decided clean slate. I'm not considering what these vendors have done, who they've been fighting with, transgressions of the past. And so with every soap that I get, I'm looking at it based on performance and whether it works. I'm not researching whether they're fighting with other artisans, what sort of history they have. Where do you land on that? Because for me, I just want to put this product in front of faces and say, hey, here's the virtues of the product itself. I'm not really trying to get involved with maybe this company doesn't like that company or this artisan is mad at that. I don't want involved in that sort of drama. Where do you fall in on that?
I always judge people based on my interactions with them. I don't care about how anybody else feels about them. If they're able to look me in the eye and treat me like a decent human being and act right with me, I'm going to give them every opportunity. And most people in this community have made good with that. So that it's just really that simple. If I'm going to judge you strictly on how we interact, not what everybody else thinks. That's just not my thing.
Now, one of the things, you probably don't want to hear it, and the chief probably doesn't want to hear it, but there was some spirited debate yesterday on on one of the chief's videos between you and the chief. And one of the things that I really appreciated was both of you individually said to me, we have a disagreement and then we move forward. I'm not carrying that stuff on for all time just because we have an agreement, even if it gets heated. And I wish more people would have that sort of attitude, whereas we could be heated, we could be angry, but then we move on and we don't continue to hold that baggage.
A lot of people struggle with being oversensitive. And I'm not saying either me or Chief was, but the reason why some of that stuff lingers for so long, because quite frankly, we act like fucking bitches. We're so sensitive. Any little thing gets us fucking set off, and we want to hold on to that shit. Yeah, me and Chief, we fucking argued. It got fucking ugly. It got fucking flat out ugly. But Chief reached out to me, and we put it behind us, dude. There's no reason to fucking dwell on that, dude. We're not fucking punks. Like, why? What does anybody get out of holding on to some shit like that? It's not
right. There's no reason to do it, and I know from times past, many people have. Thanks, Heather. Many people have been in arguments with other, and sometimes they never get over it, and it creates bad blood, and then you get into this, and then you get into this situation where I won't use that artisan because they're allied with this person, and it's just a mess. And for me, if you could take the same attitude that you and the chief have, which is, okay, we disagree, it's that one subject. That doesn't mean we have to dislike each other for all time over this one conversation. We'd be a whole lot better off if people could just take that and compartmentalize it to that particular issue and then move on. Or at least that's my opinion.
It really shouldn't be that hard. But apparently it is, dude. And I just think all of us together, we need to have tougher skins. We can't let every little thing offend us, man. We can't. We have to be better than that.
Robin from the Virtual Groom Room just said our community is too small for that sort of arguing and people being, factions of people warring. And he's right, because it's a very niche and small thing. So when you have when you have people over here going, oh, I don't like CDB because he did this or that, and that one's like, oh, CDB's friends with the chief, so now I can't be friends with either one of them because I don't. That's just ridiculous. And anyone can have relationships with whomever they choose, and because maybe you don't really care for one, doesn't mean you have to exclude everybody they're in contact with. But some people expect you to, and it's ridiculous.
Hey guys, I just want to remind everybody, there's a little box down at the
So I got
bottom.
one. Go ahead.
About bottom, because I've seen quite a few questions that pass by, but we're not. They're doing it in the chat, so they pass by quick, so we're not gonna be able to get to them. Guys, hit the little question mark button, and if you have a question that you want us to touch on, put it in there because the chat's going too fast. Hey, what's up, man? I seen Anthony came in.
Art wants me to shave the chin hair, but believe me, this looks like a bowling ball with nothing to break it up, so I can't. It really does look like a bowling ball. And we have been breaking Jack's balls over the Robin thing. And by the way, I want to mention to everybody who saw that meme, the reason why I ended up having to make Jack Robin was because the chief had to be Aquaman because he's in the Navy. Superman was obviously Kai Triska because he looks like the Dean Cain version of Superman. And that really only left Robin or Wonder Woman. And obviously I didn't want to put his head on Wonder Woman. I couldn't use Batman because Batman wears a mask and then no one would have known who it was. So he had to be Robin. It wasn't a deliberate slight. I could have probably put DK in as Wonder Woman just for fun, but you know. Let's see what we got here. He makes a fine Robin, Chief says. He does. He makes an excellent Robin. Where does the Robin nickname come from? Okay, so the Robin nickname is from Batman and Robin. So the sidekick to Batman is Robin. Mr. Watson wants to talk about honing. Okay, we'll do that. So we both started honing a few weeks ago. And I would say what I have learned so far was that there was a sort of an air of mysticism as it applied to honing. Like there was some magical thing that was beyond the reach of mere mortals like me. And what I've learned so far is that I'm sure it's more difficult when you're honing wedges and smiling blades and things that present challenges. But if you're honing a straightforward blade, the like hollow, half hollow, that has no geometry issues, I've honed several razors now. Every edge that I've honed has been usable. The last one I did was really good to the point where I was like, I'm in. It's not as difficult as I thought it would be. That said, I've also had a lot of help. What are your feelings?
I still haven't I still haven't attempted to do a razor that has geometry issues that I would care about. I've been doing some gold dollars, so I was like, who gives a fuck? Put some pressure on that bitch and hone it. I do dread the day where I'm fucking honing one of my beloved razors that are part of my collection, and I discovered there's some shit that's gone wrong with them, because who usually hones my razors, it's either been the Stallion or it's been a local buddy of mine, Roberto Sanchez, that used to do all of our honing for Old Town Shaving. So I've always trusted him. And these guys are so good at what the fuck they do, they don't say nothing if there's some geometry issue. They just take care of the fucking issue. So I dread the day that I'm feeling myself, and then I decide to do my own shit, and I'm like, oh damn, something's not right here. So that it's intimidating, dude, because again, a lot of these razors, they're fucking pieces of history, dude.
Junior says he'll hone your razors. So that's basically a challenge. That's pretty fun.
Junior can't hone shit.
I thought, just honestly, so far, it's some of it is common sense, but obviously once you've taken in a lot of information. So I've had a lot of help from the Stallion. I've had a lot of help from, so I've even watched Maddie Lindholm. I've watched Robert Ortiz. I've watched Dr. Matt. So I've taken in a lot of information, and I have sharpened knives before. So I have some basic concepts already down. If you freehand sharpen knives, that's very difficult. When you're honing a razor, if it's just a regular razor, it maintains that angle for you. So it's actually more difficult to freehand sharpen knives. And so far I've been happy. I don't think it's rocket science. However, I understand that we don't know craft at this point. So we're basically talking out our hind end.
Yeah, pretty much. I know Anthony will fucking swear that it's easy. But I still, again, I still dread the day where some shit seems to go wrong, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do. So
Let's see if we got any questions. Go, keep going. I'm sorry.
hey, fucking Chief is trying to bait me into another fight over here, dude.
So Banaka wants to know what happened to the top 10 lists, and that's a good question. We haven't seen a lot of those lately. They're good.
I think
They're
people,
popular videos. Hey, Rick.
they are very popular videos. I know. I usually do top 5 videos. Top 10s are a little long, but people love them. I think especially since there's so many newer people, and this is just something I'm gathering from some of my conversations with some of the newer YouTubers. I think they probably feel that the audience will be like, well, who's this guy to do a fucking top anything video? He's new to this. So I think there's a little bit of that, little bit of a intimidation of how it will be received from the community. What up, Mel?
So the difference between hopping and honing and stropping is honing, you're actually taking metal off the razor and you're actually sharpening. And stropping is simply aligning the razor and keeping things lined up. Honing is actually removing metal and sharpening. They're two different things, but they both work hand in hand. And again, you're talking to two people here who aren't experts on honing, so please keep that in mind. Direct honing questions to the Stallion and people who, Robert Ortiz, Dr. Matt. I'm forgetting many people who are great honing resources, because honestly, if you look up, there are people that hone, but there's not a lot of honing videos being made right now. The Stallion has made a couple recently. Robert Ortiz makes some. So if anybody is watching who hones regularly, get out there and make a video on it. That was what I would also say about the people who are kind of bummed out because they're not getting a lot of subs. Do something different. If you have a skill set that you're not showing, that no one else has, do it. Why not showcase that skill? Because there's not a lot of people. For example, if you make soap, make some soaps, send them out to people. Your name will be mentioned. It's a great way to really get your name out there. Caleb McCullough, that's another great resource for honing. If you hone, do a honing video if you're a successful owner. Frank Misa, honing. So there's all sorts of people who can do it, but there's not a ton of videos being made right now on YouTube about honing. I mean, unless you're seeing them, and maybe I'm not.
I don't think Frank would allow you to watch his honing videos, Chris.
I don't know. That was a weird situation, but like I said when I described it on the video, that was one of the weirdest things I've ever had happen. But, I'm taking Frank's word that, it was just sort of a mix-up, and then I move forward. Because, I don't hold grudges. Was it a weird thing that really defies logic? Yes. But, Frank, I talked to Frank, he gave me his word, and I take his word, and then we move forward. That's the only way to do things, in my view. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, I've had nothing but positive experiences with Frank, so, give him the benefit of the doubt, because, Frank's been real good to me. He's cool.
So Raza, who is new to making videos, wants to know if you have any advice for new creators. And the number one thing that I would say is there are plenty of shave and chat format content creators. There is tons of people that just shave and chat. So if you're new and you're looking to sort of carve your own niche, you have to find something a little different than shave and chat. So you've got to inject additional value in there. I saw a guy named Todd, whose channel is now called Take Care of Man. And he made a video on Aquavelva aftershaves, whereas it's very detailed. He tries them, he breaks down the ingredients and what level of risk they are to your skin. It was a fantastic, detailed video. That kind of value is something you can do to really distinguish yourself from the shave and chat people like us. I mean, that's my feeling. What are your feelings?
One of the big things that I would recommend to new YouTubers is release consistent content. A lot of people that have issues with growing their channel, they're releasing one video a week, one video every 2 weeks. That's not going to get it done. Not everybody's going to visit YouTube every day, so you need to make sure you have a steady flow of content so people will catch your stuff. Most of the time, probably accidentally. So right. You got to make sure you have consistent content, and the playing with formats is great. I don't know if you've seen what Jonathan at Latherhawk did. I really like that last video. It's a little different. It's a little bit more streamlined. It was a more like a voiceover job where he got kind of just into the details of the soap.
I haven't seen
I
that.
really like it. Oh, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's a shorter to the point. Yeah, it's a shorter to the point video. It was nice. I think it was very well done. I like it.
Since Junior is in here, we have to ask, how do you feel about Junior's videos? How do you think they're coming along? We're going to embarrass him here since he's here. How do you think they're progressing? What's the path you see him taking?
Well, I don't know if he's taking a straight path. He's kind of zigging and zagging the whole way through. He'll do a couple things that I recommend or we recommend.
And then
he'll zag and do some outlandish shit. The biggest thing with everything that I want people to do when they're doing YouTube videos, be happy. Whatever that fucking means to you, be happy with the content you're making. And then you won't have to worry about subscribers. You won't have to worry about none of that shit because you're having a good time. And he seems to be having a good time, man. So even though I don't always fucking like everything he's fucking doing because he acts like a jackass sometimes, you know, if he's happy with his content, man, all the power to him. I still got his back.
A lot of people were giving us a hard time because we mentioned Junior, and who is the dude of shaving, for those of you who don't know. The reason that Junior's being mentioned is he's doing things that are different. It's not ordinary. And so the worst thing you can do is come in with a shave and drama, or excuse me, not shave and drama, but shave and chat format, which everybody already does, and you don't have anything else to offer because there's plenty of people grinding out day in, day out, shave and chat, and they're good. They're very, very good. But if you come and try to replicate the exact same thing, you know, it's going to be tough. So what Junior does is make videos that are different from everybody else's. And that's the reason that I like it, is because, and they're like, well, they asked me, one guy, like, well, how can a guy that's polite as you like something like that? And I'm like, it's fun. He's having fun. It's that simple. And you can tell he's having fun. That's also a big reason why folks are watching the Chief and a lot of the other new people that are growing fast is the Chief's basically jumping through the screen with enthusiasm, especially when he really loves a soap. You can tell when he loves a soap because he's happy and he puts it across. And you can tell when he's disappointed. And so that's the whole point, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, dude. When you can feel the energy and the fun that people are having making these videos, you yourself enjoy them. If the fucking energy of the video is fucking drab and depressing, please, content creators, have a little fucking self-awareness. If you're not the funniest person in the goddamn room at family gatherings, you're probably not that good on fucking camera either. It's not that hard to figure out. But man,
you know, I think you can still, even if you don't have necessarily a magnetic personality, you can still add value. I mean, if there's still, you can be good at passing on information. And so there are high personality folks, and then there are folks like, I'll give you another example of somebody new that I've watched recently. Carlitos. I think there's an S on the end of his name, so I'm not sure if
that's the sexiest voice in all of wood shaving right there.
It's a great voice. It's a great voice. Lord. It reminds me of that guy from Javier, or whatever his name, from No Country for Old Men. Deep, resonating voice. So when I watch his videos, I'm like, I like to listen because the voice is great. I'm going to check questions. Well, let's see.
Hello.
Continue. Let's see. What's going on there?
Oh, Rocio got home, and of course she has to come in like a fucking tornado. So what was that?
Hey, Red. Yes, that's right. Chris, just be positive, enjoy your shave. That is excellent. That's really excellent advice. So Raza is another, hello, Rocio.
Hi, guys. Hey, Chris.
Good to see you. So, Raza, have you seen his videos recently? I think he's doing a great job too. He's doing well. He keeps the conversation going. I don't like dead air. That to me is YouTube kryptonite. Is when you're shaving and there's like 30 seconds of nothing. Like to me, I just don't. I don't care for that.
And it happens often.
It does happen, and so I think you have to keep it moving. You have to constantly keep engaging, and I think it helps if you write a couple of notes down on what you might want to talk about. What do you got there now?
Oh, there's this company called Seven Leaves Cafe out here. I don't know if they have them everywhere, but my daughter, the middle child, she brought me one, so I'm just mixing it up.
So yeah, back to Raza. He's done only a few videos, but he's getting better each time. And even his first video, what I've noticed about the new people is their first videos are way better than our first videos. Like,
oh, mine were
they're not even
awful.
in the same league.
Oh, I was watching one just yesterday. I was bad, dude. My whole first fucking 2 years were awful.
Well, I mean, I guess you could argue a lot of us still aren't very good, but you grind it out. And so that's one of the things that Rudd actually said yesterday. Grinding is the only way. And so he's been doing it a long time. He grinds and we all grind. And it's just one of those things. And people are going to pass you. That's just the way it is. The Chief is probably going to pass me in 1 year. I will congratulate the Chief. I will say, well done, Chief. Great job. You deserve it. I don't feel competitive with people over subs. It is you do it because you enjoy it, and then let the chips fall where they may, and you hope that people enjoy it and will spread it, and you're doing your part. That's all you can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can't control, who likes us, who doesn't like us, and who's. I see JR is down there still. Let's see if we have any more questions. Unicorn juice. Good stuff. Let's see. Oh, we do have. Okay. So up for Shave Dave wants to know, what soaps do you recommend? So give him some recommendations while I'm looking at these other questions.
Right off the top of my head, man, probably my 3 to 5 favorite soaps are probably going to be PAA, Ariana and Evans, Zingari Man, Moon soaps. I've been talking about Moon soaps a lot the last couple months, and man, Strike Gold Shave, that new formula that they just released, it's fucking really good, dude. It's really, really good. So those are the ones that I would recommend trying.
So let's see. Any interest out there? Charles wants to know from Craving Shaving, any interest out there on how to get started making brushes type of videos? I would say yes. I would say anything like that would be outstanding. And Norse Renegade says to David Gonzalez, when did you get rid of that trash door behind you? Go Giants. Redbeard rules. So he's busting the
The Giants suck. We've been tapping that ass for the last 3 years. So you're welcome. And probably like a couple months ago, dude, I was done with it. The wheels broke off the track and shit. I'm like, is it worth fixing this fucking door, or I'm just gonna get rid of it? It's just me and my wife in here. What the fuck do we need a door for? I just threw up a curtain.
So Justin, the Red Allen shaver, wants to know, now if I can't get there we go. What do we feel is a good upload schedule? For me, I'm in every day. I shave every day. I have all this stuff. I love to shave every day. I don't think that's for everyone. I don't think everyone or everyday grinders. It will wear you down because it is a lot of work. I think the guys who do it 2, sometimes 3 times a week, I think they have an excellent schedule. And if they do it on the same days, I think it really helps because the viewers know I'm coming back Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or whatever days. I think a couple a week for most people is probably the best. Some people can do videos every single day. Some people probably can't, just because it's, you have to talk nonstop and not everybody can.
Now, if you're talking about a release schedule in hopes of growing your channel and getting subscribers, the more often and the more consistent in time and day, the better. For me, I do it I make sure to do it when I'm in the mood for it, man. There's some weeks where I'll have 1 video. There's some weeks where I'll have 3 videos, man. This is something that I'm doing to have a good time, man. I like the growing of the channel. I like seeing new subscribers. That's all cool. But at the end of the day, this is for my peace of mind and my sanity. So I'm doing it more for myself than just everybody else. So yeah, for me, when I feel good about it. If you're trying to build a channel, as often and as consistently as you possibly can, man.
And I'm going to say this right now. Some people do not like it if you release daily content. I get crap all the time for releasing daily content. And sometimes, just because I get complaints, I release 2 videos in a day. In fact, after this, I'm going to release another video with a head shave just because I want to. Because, you know, what are you going to do? I'm shaving every day. I'm a shave or shave. I shave every day. I'm not one of those guys that waits for 3 days to shave for a YouTube lather and all that stuff. I like to shave every day. I always had jobs that required shaving. Like the guys who don't shave twice a week, I'm like, that must be nice, you know. Actually,
I wish I could shave every day. I can't. That's a little too harsh on my face. My hair doesn't grow enough for that. But I would love to shave every day. But I shave every other day. So usually you'll see about 3 videos a week from me. But yeah, I wish I could shave every day.
Do you remember, I don't know if you were around when I started doing videos years ago, daily videos. No one was doing daily videos, by the way. You only had a few people that did. I started doing daily videos, and there was a lot of complaining and a lot of gnashing of teeth and a lot of people being really upset. And, you know, my feeling is...
I was around for that. Yeah, I was around for that time. And it's just, what a stupid complaint. Who gives a shit if you post every day? If you don't want to see it every day, don't watch. Again, that's part of the whole shit that we just find the dumbest shit to complain about and get upset about. It's just weird. It's not necessary.
There are more people doing daily content. The only problem for me is I'm having trouble keeping up. I have trouble keeping up because there are so many people that I want to watch and I fall behind, and then, you know, I'm trying to support everybody as much as I can. I was having a conversation with a couple of other content creators today, and we were talking about how can we keep up supporting the people that we want to support. And they said the way they do it is they watch videos and they comment on them. If somebody never comments on their video, say they make 4, 5, 6 videos and those creators never comment ever, then they stop watching them and they can exclude that channel. And I said, yeah, it's kind of fair. I realize not everybody can catch every video if you do daily videos, but if they never come around, maybe that's a fair way to do it. Like, you know, don't check those folks out. I mean, really what it comes down to, you have to pick who you like, but that made sense to me. Like, they narrowed it down based on who also supports their channel. And, you know, I can understand that to a certain extent. What are your feelings?
Just real quick, Dave, yeah, I was talking about that the Honest Abe that's releasing them off from Strike Gold. That's their first release in that new base, dude. And I really liked it, man. It's really good. So
you you all buy that from Strike Gold?
He sent it to me. It's the video that I put out today. I put on there, yeah, he did send me the soap. It was fucking good, dude. It's just flat out good. I really like it. Jennifer Martin did a hell of a job with that soap base.
Now, I've been seeing a lot of Shave 326 recently, and we haven't talked about Ken Klitschko today. I really like his video. His videos are coming along. He started out, and they were a little stiff, I would say. But now I can see the humor coming out. He's breaking balls a little bit. I think his channel is really beginning to open up. Like he's doing some stuff. He's poking people. I'm liking that. Have you been noticing that?
Oh yeah, dude. I like his whole vibe in his videos. Again, he's low key. He's not fucking high energy, but he's witty and some of the stuff that he says and does. I like him. He fucking tagged me in a video, so I'm not a big fan of him today.
Oh, yeah, that was another. I actually have things written down, and one of them is tag videos. Tag videos. Have we jumped the shark on tag videos at this point with so many that no one can keep up, potentially?
It's too much with those fucking tag videos. I'm not a big fan of them. Again, I shave because I want to enjoy my shave. So doing some weird shit for a certain shave is just, I like to enjoy every single shave I have. And it just, yeah, some of these weird fucking shits that we're doing, it's just kind of like, I don't want to do this at all.
Did you see the Johan shaving in the candlelight video tag was worth it just for that video. So I have to applaud Ken Klitschko, because seeing Johan with that wax dripping on his head was pretty phenomenal. I mean, he's
dude. Johan is a fucking shave god, dude. I don't care what anybody tells me. That shit was funny. It was a funny ass video, man. That was good.
So Art wants to know if you've tried the PFT soap yet.
No, I did not. The PFT soap came around at a time when I didn't have no funds for it. So I missed out on it. It is what it is. But no, yeah, I did not. I wasn't able to get it.
Reverend Kev Cole wants to know if you think there's a shaving invention that is missing in the market. I'm going to tell you what's missing is, for me, we need a slickometer, and we need something that measures objectively slickness, because everybody's like, this is the slickest soap I've ever had. And like, there's no objective way to really measure performance and soap. I wish we had a scentometer where we could measure the scent of soap, the scent strength, and a slickometer. Like, and those are the inspector's ideas, but I completely agree, because that would be awesome. Hold on, let me see. I think we have some more questions, perhaps. Let's see. I saw one in there somewhere, but I'm missing it. I apologize if I'm missing your question. Anyway, I wish we had some way to objectively measure performance, because there really is very few ways to objectively measure performance, in my view. Let's see. So Charles says tag videos are a good way of people growing their channel, and they're right. What tends to happen is smaller channels tag bigger channels, and then they get a mention, and it does help them. And so I understand that. And
I tell new YouTubers, build relationships the old school way. Talk to people. If you're having conversations with big people with bigger channels, they're gonna mention you organically, as opposed to this force feeding tag videos down people's throat. Because I legitimately do feel bad not doing the tag videos. I do feel bad not doing them. But again, I want to.
So when I saw Ken Klitschko's Candlelight, I said, I've already shaved with a blindfold. I mean, how much darker can you get? But then I saw Johan, I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool. I like that. The razor company, by the way, I want to mention the razor company because I had a conversation with the gentleman the other day. I didn't even know about it. The razor company, I'm plugging it. There's nothing in it for me. I just had a nice conversation. If you order at least $10 free shipping. So I am totally on board with getting value when it comes to shipping. You know how I feel about charging too doggone much for shipping. And so you can order from the razor company. And by the way, they had this. I don't know if they're getting it on 7.5. You can write below if you're going to have some. I didn't even know the razor company existed, but they have a lot of stock, and it's free shipping over 10, which I really like. I think that's cool.
That's impressive. I don't know how they do that. That shit, shipping is expensive.
It can really add up, like especially if it's like almost $15, like it's the price of a soap. So, you know. Okay, the razor company isn't having the next release of this one, sadly. But
yeah, it would be fine, dude. I probably wouldn't be so frustrated with tags if they were spaced out, dude. But literally, there's at all times for the last like 2 months, there's been 3 tags rotating around constantly for the whole time. So yeah, one a month would be cool. I'd be totally cool with 1 tag video a month. But no, literally, there's like 3 at all times.
The razor company said they're getting some more, but it'll be later. So you can look for this at the razor company at some point in the future. The 7.5 release is only for on the Southern Witchcraft site. I love this stuff. What do you want to plug? Because we only got 1 minute 40 left.
I got nothing, man. Subscribe.
I'm going to plug.
SoSharpDavid, baby.
Marion the Barbarian has a giveaway going on. I don't know if the video has been uploaded, so check out Marion the Barbarian. He's reaching out to a lot of people. I think Marion Barbarian, it's hard to say. I'm going to start calling him Marion or maybe MTB. He's doing things the right way by establishing relationships. I can't speak. I'm sorry. He's reaching out to a lot of people. He's sending people things. He's doing giveaways. And so watch his channel, because I think it's going to be interesting to see at what level it grows, because he's doing a lot of things the right way by establishing relationships, which is what we've been trying to say is the most effective way.
I agree.
Let's see. Shade326 says he's not of the esteem to feel like anybody's going to actually acknowledge his tag. I think Shade236 has a really great channel. I enjoy watching his videos. Shade236 says Marion's DM game is strong. Yes, Marion will DM you and have a little conversation.
Oh yeah, he's woken me up a couple times already.
Yeah. I've been talking to him for some time. He sent me his first video privately, and he's come so far since that time. I want to thank everybody for joining us this Friday night. I really appreciate it. On behalf of myself and SoSharpDavid, I'm going to say, it's your shave, do it your way. Be cool. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon.